Hey everyone, Kyle once again, and welcome back to the next episode review of Reincarnated as a Sword, episode 11. Sadly, though, the end is almost near next week. Because after this, one more episode, and which I'm like, damn. Because I really enjoy the show. Personally, I would say I love the show, but I just really had fun with the show. I just hope, hopefully it doesn't take too long, because I would like to see a second season. I really do, because I've enjoyed our bond between the character chemistry of Fran and Teacher, the sword. And of course, with the addition of Amanda being like the mother figure as well too. So I've enjoyed these characters, and I would love to see a second season, because I think it's one of the better isekai animes I've seen in a while. And with episode 11 taking place after when Fran and two of the guys that were teleported without their weapons, leaving Fran without Teacher, and they end up in this room where this the queen spider, you can say, the trickster spider, without no weapons, she can't use her skills. She has no skills or magic with her without her sword, right? Without her best dad. And the way this really took, because you really thought she would be useless, since she has no magic or abilities, right? How usually she thought she would be like weak and all that stuff, how she was from before when she was a slave, before she met Teacher, right? But actually, she was a pretty tough cookie. I give kudos, because she was getting beat up all she was like hit with needles, hit by rocks. She got beaten all to hell while trying to protect these two of the comrades that was with her. She surprisingly held her own, She didn't. The thing is that she never gave up, Yeah, despite that she has no without Teacher with her, right? She did pretty despite being battered and bloodied up, because she reminded herself that she was not going to be that weak person like she was before. She wants to evolve. She still had her desire to evolve, and especially after being poisoned, even the other guys got poisoned, and all the spiders are coming in, especially the two guys are all underneath this big pile of spiders, which I was like, oh, goddamn. She goes and pulls those guys out of the mountain of spiders, just crushing them and left and right, and she was like she was determined, to never give up, and she really surprisingly held on her own, even without her abilities or skills or without Teacher, right? And then meanwhile, back with the other group, right? They split into three groups, which is funnily enough, the guy who originally acted like a jerk, right? Saying that, calling Fran a little brat, right? Actually, surprisingly, he was actually more concerning, in this episode, I mean, of course, the conflict they had between her and Fran was over with. They got that out of the way, though. But actually, was actually showing very concerning about the safety of Fran and the other two of his own guys, And he's like, yeah, he said, we have to hurry, So yeah, I mean, even he showed us some very compassion and urgency to try to find them, And they split into two groups, right? And while Amanda went on her own solo, because she's the best of the best character of in this, right? And so she took the sword with her, and I love the fact with the whole time, when the sword was with her, saying that, should I really tell her who I really am, and should I just quit pretending that I'm just actually he's actually a sentient being, really enough? And at a point where he finds where you can try to use one of his abilities to actually kin summon, right? Summon a familiar, right? That can help find Fran. And in the sword, and Amanda's like, well, actually, what is this sword, And then when Teacher summons this particular type of wolf that can help find where Fran is, Of course, the thing goes all berserk because it absorbed too much of the mana that Teacher was using, and the best way to calm it down to make it obedient is giving it a name. So he calls it Urshiri. Urshiri, mispronounce the name, and the wolf is now a loyal puppy dog now. So they go and find Fran, which the wolf has some cool abilities. They can see the traps. It can see that has foresight like the traps. They can dodge it, and even when there's a bunch of pile of rocks, he can like shadow dive and come out in the other way, like we referred to like what the Greater Demon did. And even Amanda, she had her own cool abilities as well. She can like use like this wind ability where she can go in directions to hear what noises in each direction. She has her own little cool abilities as well. And to a point where they get this, where they think it's a dead end, but it's a wall, right? Amanda uses her like a wind tornado and goes and blasts the wall apart for the secret room. And that's where they find Fran and the two guys, right? But it was really Amanda. Like I said, she's first they started being more clingy, more of a stalker when we first saw her, and then beating Fran, being fighting her because she's the top A rank adventurer. But it shows like her purest of attentions, being the mother figure, and because she liked children and all that stuff, right? Has really it comes to the point where at the point after all this conflict was done, Fran has come to trust Fran has come to trust Amanda now, which that was nice, But before that though, they got all this thing of webs, and Teacher used like a whole lot of his power to be this flaming sword, goes charging through, going through the webs, and goes straight through that the trickster spider queen, and just didn't kill it though, just damaged it though. So the spider trickster spider gets away, and later you see it like kind of heals itself, and so it's someplace else. And then Fran, so happy to see Teacher, like happy seeing her dead. She even hugs him, even despite the fact that he was still hot from his flaming abilities. Like, I don't care. So she was really happy to see him. Hey, it's like more of that good father-daughter relationship. A daughter finally reunited with her dad. Basically, even though it says that Teacher says that you've been my best student ever, and she starts going goo goo gaga, bawling over. And of course, Teacher heals her from her wounds, including the other two guys. Which at the point they were so talking with Amanda, they kind of forgot the two guys who were poisoned, so they had to heal them out quickly. But also at the point I like the point where Fran and Teacher finally tells Amanda what Teacher is, telling his secret about what he really is, and because it comes to the point now the Fran is finally, she can trust Amanda now. And I like the point where Amanda goes close up to the sword's face and is like, what kind of sword are you? And then I like the point where all of a sudden she just backs off, because it isn't the way she's like, you know what, they're kind of like better some secrets that are kind of left unsaid unless Fran wants to tell her herself, And I like that, that... I like that fact that, she kind of backed up, let secrets be secrets unless you want to tell me yourself. And so what Fran does, and she's like, oh, and say, oh, wow, you're a super duper sword. And also that, of course, when Amanda finally finds Fran, goes, oh, I'm so glad, Mama's so glad you found you. And, of course, the usual Fran going, you're not my mama. And so after that they and also that with the wolf, Urshiri, Teacher is like, hey, now you have a little brother, and of course Fran's so happy. He's like, hey, little brother calls a fluffy Urshiri. And then while the group gets back together, wonder where the trickster spider went to, right? And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, this glowing light shows, and there's this white owl that disappears, and teacher saying, a new character? And then it ends like that. But yeah, just this show, I really thoroughly enjoyed this show. And sadly, we have the next week, we have the last episode, though, which I just hope there will be more. I would love to see more of the growth and bond between Fran and teacher, more father-daughter bond. Even with Amanda, more of that kind of a mother-daughter bond too, as well. I'd like to see more of this world, that all the stories of the like the creatures or etc. the myths and legends in this world, and mechanics and stuff. I would like to see more. I would love to see a second season for this. But this episode was another really good one. Like I said, Fran, she held out on her own the best she can. Even without her sword, fighting this queen spider on her own, getting beat up, poisoned, hit. And trying to protect the two guys. And just she will say she is just one tough cookie. Fran is one tough cookie. Just I love it. Well, so she goes and slams her face into the ground, try to boost herself. Like, I am Fran, a black cat who wants to evolve. She really has that burning desire to wanting to evolve, and that's why she doesn't give up. She wants to continue on and not be beaten down. She wants to continue to stride and be the best she can. So, yeah, Fran that was really another great character moment for Fran, and just. Even without no skills or magic, or without her best dad sword, and even managed to show a couple more of her cool abilities, and just being more now that she can Frank can trust her now, which is nice now, very nice, and just letting on the secret and letting in the secret of what teacher really is. So this is once again another really great episode, and now they have with the addition of having Yurstri the wolf, is the little brother. He says, I'm really looking forward to seeing the last episode. I wonder how that's going to end, But if it ends the way it is, that's fine. But the thing is, I would love to see a second because I really thoroughly enjoy the show. Like I said, it's one of the better isekai animes I've seen in a while. But anyway, yeah, that's episode 11 of Reincarnated as a Sword. Thumbs up for this one, I really do. And sadly, the next thing will be the last one, sadly. We'll see how that goes. But thanks for watching. Stay tuned for the next episode review, and we'll see you next time. Later.